would you say then is the key to finding or making time for writing when you have a full-time job?
It's definitely being intentional about that time. And so for me, it started in 2016 as a part of my law practice. I knew that I was in my 4th year as an associate, and I knew I needed to start building my own brand and attracting clients so that I could advance in my law firm. And the partner that I worked with was an extroverted, gregarious, magnetic person who loved going to conferences and interacting with people, and that is not me. I am an introvert, and, like, this week, I've been in depositions all day, every day, and I want to not interact with another human for a long time. And so, I knew that I needed to do something sustainable for me over the course of the long term. And so I started in 2016, I started a law blog where I would write about legal topics, and that evolved into writing about law practice and client relationships and case management, things like that, that I did for several years and turned into a few books. And in order to do that, I started setting aside time early in the morning before I started doing my work for my practice to write those articles and eventually to write books. And so as I have gotten into writing novels, it's been that same time. I've just transitioned from writing nonfiction to writing fiction in those early morning hours before the rest of the house is awake and before I start my other work. And that's how I've been able to write, I'm trying to think now, 7 books in the last 5 years. It's just being very intentional about that time. So that's the rule. There are certainly exceptions because there's a lot of days where, like this week, it's been 11 and 12-hour days all week. So I don't have the mental capacity to work on my 4th novel right now because my brain is all mushy by the end of the day, and the day has to start really early for work to get all these things done. And so there are times when it doesn't happen, but the rule is getting up at 5 and that first hour of the day is for the creative work.
So it's about fitting it in around your schedule and your already existing commitments then.
Yeah, because I've got work. I have a young family with 2 kids whose lives I'm very involved in, and and a wife, and so, those are the family is my priority. Work is the next priority, and so if I'm going to get the creative work done and the writing done, it has to fit into those other things, and I have to make the time for it. And there's also times when, if I'm picking up my elementary school boy from school and I'm in car line waiting, I might try to get a couple hundred words in while I'm waiting there and can't log into work or something. So, and I learned that trick from Michael Laron, who talks all the time about fitting your creative work into these small slices of time, and it really builds up over time. And so, there's times when, the kids are taking a bath or a shower, and I can sit down for a few minutes while they're doing that and get a paragraph in, and maybe it's 150 words and maybe it's 75 words, but over the course of time between getting up early and making time in those small little margins, I'm able to get it done, and I think most people can probably do that too if you prioritize it.